Hi, I'm Monique Bradley and welcome to Finding Happy. And I'm really excited today because I'm totally unscripted. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and today I have a guest in the studio as well. This is co-creator of Get a Life. This is Pete Ward. Welcome, Pete.
Hi Monique. Hi everybody.
Really excited to be here today with you, and this is really cool because you've been sent a list of questions for me. Is that right?
I have indeed.
Oh dear, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not sure what the questions entail. So get ready, fire away. These are audience-generated questions for me, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And it's about things that might have been playing on people's minds, all to do with health and wellness and all the stuff that I talk about in Finding Happy and Get a Life. So, are you ready?
Yes, are you?
I think so.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
hit me.
Right, so as Monique said, these are not ones that we've made up. They've actually been sent in by everybody.
Real people.
Real people. So Monique, here's the first question. Okay, look, why do we continue to work in places and with people that make us so unhappy?
Oh, such a good question. Workplace issues. What it comes down to, and what I've learned over the last 20 years of my study and my own journey, is that what drives us is actually our values, right? So just as a brief breakdown, everything that happens in our life we create as a story in our mind, and that basically stories create the values that we use to make choices in our life. So for example, something that might be higher on somebody's values list might be financial security. So putting up with people that they don't necessarily like is less of a priority, because really the outcome of the situation that they're looking for is that financial security, say, to support for their family. Let me explain it. Back in the caveman days, and I love this analogy, a caveman may have decided to live in a particular cave even though it's a little bit colder because it's closer to water, whereas another caveman, he might go for a warmer cave but he has a further distance to walk to get to fresh water. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So I think we sometimes put up with these people purely because financial security is more important. So really, understanding your own values, understanding what's most important to you, and understanding that balance as well kind of makes everything a little bit more tolerable. So knowing your tolerances as well is really important.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Does that kind of answer that question for you?
It. Well, it does to me, so hopefully it does to you.
Excellent.
That's brilliant. Okay, look, we're going on with the job thing here, because a lot of people do, tell us about issues with people, jobs. Tends to be
It actually creates a lot of stress for people, especially when you're spending, 8 to maybe 10 hours of your day locked into a job. And if you're unhappy in your workplace, that one thing can have a domino effect into every other area of your life. So that's why I always say, do what you love and love what you do.
That's right. Now that leads us on to the next question,
Cool.
which is a reasonably longer one, but it'll probably be an easy one to follow on from. Basically, how do we manage personalities of people that we can't stand to be in the same room with? So now we're talking about work things here in that sense. It could be anything, but I'm specifically talking, believe in work stuff. Is there a set of sentences and internal questions or behavioural exercises that I can practice? So this is the person asking the question, that I can practice to help me deal with the personalities of people I dislike or would like to manage better.
That is such a good question.
So I think we're talking about people we can't avoid. So avoiding them is not really going to help. So this is how to actually deal with people. You might be a co-worker, sitting in a meeting every day, manager, all those sort of things.
Yeah, I understand that.
Go, Monique.
Yes, there is. Something that's really helped me over the years has been, I've gone through a program called Wealth Dynamics. And Wealth Dynamics is designed for people who want to become entrepreneurs or want to know more about their personality style in view to creating more wealth and abundance in their life. How it's helped me is I've understood who I am, and I've understood who the other people are that I interact with. So for example, my personality type, and it's the same as yours, is called the star. So I love to be a brand ambassador. I'm a great spokesperson for lots of causes like www.depression.org.nz. Love that whole campaign. And so I like to be out talking to people. I'm a classic extrovert. I have a little bit of an introvert side as well. However, I know that there are some people on the introvert side of personality who don't like my extrovertness, and that's okay. Or who want to refine my process, for example. That used to really upset me, and I used to take it really personally. I've now learnt that they just have a different worldview, and their worldview is different from mine. and that's actually okay. Because if we were all the same, if we were all stars, sure, we'd have a good time having lots of laughs, but we'd all want to claim the stage. And really, in a perfect world, you need people who can create structure and systems. You need people who can run activity. You need people who are compassionate and can support people. You need everyone to make up a really, really good team. So for me, going through the wealth dynamics process and understanding who I am meant that working with those people who aren't necessarily a natural match for me is much more tolerable, and also I can communicate in a language that they understand.
Yeah, well, I guess that makes a big difference, doesn't it? Being able to
Massive.
understand that everyone's coming from a different point of view.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. And then learning to communicate through those, I suppose that would help.
It's quite fantastic, and it's a real eye-opener, and it's really good to know perhaps what seat on the bus you should be sitting on if you understand the analogy. And in fact, I'll share the link at the bottom of the video, just underneath. I'll share that link if you're interested in doing the test and finding out more about yourself and even the other people in your family. It's really valuable. Cool. What have you got next?
Good stuff. Okay. Carrying on with the job side of it all.
Oh, lots of job questions.
Yeah, it tends to come up a little bit. If I change jobs, will I just be just as unhappy at the next place?
Oh.
And that's interesting because often we do things in life and make big changes, and we have that big honeymoon period, don't we? And everything is just awesome.
Amazing.
And then it slowly goes away, and you end up back in the same position.
In the same rut, and it's like Groundhog Day over and over again. Well, last year, Pete and I popped over to the States, and we had a fantastic time. It was a real eye-opener for us and made us think of a bigger worldview. And while we were there, sitting on a bus heading down to Belmont Shores, just further down from Long Beach in California, I started formulating a song, and it's called You Take You Everywhere You Go. And I think that's a really pertinent statement for this particular question. At the end of the day, there's lots of theorists that I've been studying with, the work of Carl Jung, for example, the work of Einstein, and they all believe, and you can read their information on the internet, that the outward world or the outer world that you live in is an outward manifestation of what's inside. So to be blunt, if you've got crap going on outside you, tune in with yourself and see what's going on inside you. So, for example, I read a study that people who have really chaotic environments around them are normally suffering with a chaotic environment internally. So I think to be able to change your outer world, as Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So start by addressing what's actually going on with you first. And I'll tell you, a great way to do that is by spending a little bit of time tuning in. Meditation is really good. It's really helped me over the years. By understanding a little bit of who you are, understanding, what feels right. Does this solution feel right? Does that solution feel right? And our gut instinct is a beautiful inner compass that helps give us direction as well. So really trust that intuition. And then start thinking, if I want to change this situation, that change starts with me. So by reprogramming, getting rid of old self-limiting beliefs, and then writing a new program or writing a new story that then affects our values, that affects our behavior and our conscious choices. And affirmations, I cannot recommend them highly enough. I've been working with several clients now who I have been giving my affirmation cards to, and I'll tell you what, the results have been incredible because within 30 to 40 days of saying these affirmations over again, you have basically rewired your mind. You've created new neural pathways in the brain.
That's amazing.
It totally is, and the results are outstanding. I have seen significant life changes in a really short period of time by using affirmation cards. So again, I'll post a link about those too if you're interested, because remember, you do take you everywhere you go. So take the best you everywhere you go. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I guess that as you're going through, you're focusing on the positive outcomes of what you're reading on the affirmation card, rather than focusing on all of the negative stuff around you.
Oh, absolutely.
And I guess sometimes when we look at the negative stuff and we see it all mounting up, that we do miss, I guess you could call it the silver lining, and I guess it is about looking for the silver lining and going, you know what, that story no longer serves me. It's time to start looking at what my new story is.
Yeah.
Even though the old story might still be around us, I think sometimes that's what I think you're saying about writing the new story, isn't it?
Totally. We've always got the power of choice at the end of the day. And, for those of you who follow The Secret or laws of attraction and abundance, you'll understand the term that energy flows where your attention goes. And I'm a big believer in that. And, Joy and sadness cannot exist in the same space. So focus your energy on joy and watch it as it kind of overflows into every other aspect of your life. Yeah, amp up the happiness, I say.
Yeah.
Cool. What else
Sounds
have
good.
you got for me?
Right,
This is
well,
fun.
we do have our final question
okay.
that we've got here for today. We could go on, but we picked them, selected them now.
Yeah.
Okay, hi Monique, how's things going?
Cool,
I have
thank you.
a weight loss question
Oh, good.
that others may want to know too.
Okay.
How do you make weight loss less challenging when you have to cook for a family
Oh, great question.
and they don't want to eat what you're cooking and you don't want to have to cook 2 separate meals? Now that is a good one.
Wow, such a good
That is a good
question.
one.
So I'm going to share with you some of my own personal secrets. So in my success, so if you had met me 20 years ago, I would be about 50 to 60 kilos heavier than I am now. You wouldn't recognize me. I look completely different. And I'll post a couple of photos at the end of this video as well. The secrets I think that I discovered, first of all, my dear friends, Dr. Libby Weaver and Chef Cynthia Louise, they're big advocates of amp up your greens. So for example, when Pete and I are cooking, we try to cook something that's relatively healthy with quite a bit of protein in it, but then we make choices what we want to have with that protein. So for example, one of my favorite meals, sorry about this, is actually mince. Yes, I said it, mince, savory mince. And what we like to do is where Pete might add rice or pasta to go with the mince, I choose to have something different. So I normally have a bag of raw vegetable greens in the fridge, you know, like the coleslaw mix and things like that, just the raw cabbage. And I put that into a bowl and then I load my protein on top of it. And it's like having a naked burrito. It's absolutely amazing, really, really tasty. It's filling. And cabbage is actually thermogenic, so as you eat it, it actually burns fat. So who doesn't love that?
Brilliant.
They also recommend if you do still want noodles, you could try kelp noodles, which are made from seaweed, and they're really cool. So it's, I guess everything is about modifying what it is you want to cook. So as MC of the food show and being surrounded by food all the time, lots of different chefs have shared different things, like Nadia Lim, who is winner of season 2 of MasterChef. She shared with me that everything, because her background is nutrition and dietetics, everything is about portion control.
Right.
So for example, one of the things I do now is I usually eat about 5 times a day. And that might be a smoothie, a green smoothie, which I've learnt about from my friend Fiona Jamieson Folland, which is fantastic. Or it might be something as simple as a piece of, if I do have carbs, gluten-free toast with an egg on it. And I find that the smaller portions are really sustaining for my energy, and so my weight always stays about the same size. So for the last 2 years, I think I've remained about 65 to 69 kilos, and that's been really good.
So you're saying you could maybe eat the same food as the family, but just shrink the portions
Shrink
of
the
yourself?
portions, absolutely.
Okay, and one of the other ideas we were talking about earlier that you might want to share as well is that you could do the same main, say for instance, if it was mince, you could do that and then just swap out those other bits on the way through. And you were talking about changing some of the ingredients in there on the way through.
Oh, absolutely. So some time ago I was doing a research into fat because I wanted to look at the difference between how fat and sugar affected my body and my wellness. Interestingly enough, there's more research coming out now that sugar is really the demon and that fat is actually okay. What the bad fats kind of do, apart from, turning nasty inside your body, fat actually coats the flavour sensors on your tongue. I learned this from Dr. Oz. And so, of course, your ability to taste is lowered. So all you want are those really high flavoured foods. So by really getting rid of some of those really heavy kind of fattier meals, and upping things like cayenne pepper, which is really good for your metabolism, or upping other herbs, like I love basil and coriander and things. You're amping up the flavour, but you're also amping up your vitamins. And I'm a big believer that, food is fuel. As much as it's fun and delicious, food is fuel as well. So choose really consciously what you eat. So, if your family's going to eat macaroni cheese, that's cool. I probably wouldn't, and I know you and your daughter do, and you guys love that. That's where I would probably make a difference. But look, make it easy on yourself. If you're going to have a meal like that with the family, try a green smoothie and some nuts, and you'll be surprised at how amazingly filling it is. And the green smoothie, especially if it's got avocado and it contains all the good fats for your body. before you know it, you know, you'll start detoxing and you'll have more energy and you'll only crave really, really good foods. That's
Sounds
kind of
good.
what's helped me.
Sounds good. So you're saying basically play the long game and start
Yeah.
changing all of the stuff for your family on the way
Yeah,
through. And
absolutely.
over the next 6 months, a year, swapping things out, they might slowly get used to the new taste and they might not miss the old taste. And you might...
Oh, absolutely. I'm amazed at how much people change by doing that. And I'd highly recommend implement just one change a week. With, like I said before, within 30 to 40 days, your brain has done some really cool stuff whereby it has new rules in place. It has new stories governing your choices and your values and your beliefs. So it is really, really achievable. Just be gentle on yourself. And in fact, if I can give you one tip to take away today, start by drinking water with lemon juice in it. It's a wonderful detoxer for your liver. And once you get your liver doing everything properly, you know, everything else starts falling into place. And 2, make sure you're taking really good nutritionals as well. And if you want support for that, you can talk to me directly and I'm happy to help, you know, with upping your nutrition too. I absolutely swear by it.
Brilliant.
Now, if people want more information, actually, Pete, I'll show them here. I'll just open this up. Our website, getalife.net.nz, I hope you can see that, is loaded with lots of information. So there's articles on how I lost weight. There's articles on the on wealth dynamics, which I've talked about. There's articles on personality types and all the different things that we've spoken about today. So if you want to find out more, just head to the website, join our community, and get in touch with us. How does that sound, Pete?
Great. I hope that answers some of your questions.
So exciting.
No doubt we'll have lots more questions coming in, and
Absolutely.
always post them on our Facebook page as well if you'd like.
Yeah. And every 6 weeks we'll be doing an Ask Me a Question session, or what do you call it?
An AMA.
Yeah, absolutely. So think about your questions, and we'll see you with another session in the next 6 weeks. In between time, make sure you watch the vlogs, and if you want links to other vlogs, I'll share those below as well. Thanks so
Great.
much, Pete. Awesome
Thanks, Monique.
stuff. Good stuff. We'll see you
Cool.
next time.
See ya.